this is Fluffy the Destroyer, and welcome to my channel. I saw Dean's video and Miss K's video as well. Thanks to Dean, of course. I mean, it's YouTube. It's really big, so I don't know every kind of channel out there. There's way too many, anyways. But hey, thank you, Dean. It's about respect versus popularity, and I mean, it's pretty obvious it's going to be respect, but, ooh, let me tell you a couple of stories, and that's why I want to talk about it, because, I mean, this subject really talks to me. It really, it really reaches out to me in a way that's really special. It's like, there's 3 stories, so 3 in 1, hey. So, you got 2 free. First one, it was when I was, man, like 15 or something, 15 or 16. At that time, I was an idiot, like the kind of idiot that you want to smack like behind his head, you know. Disrespectful to my mother, that was me. Didn't give a shit about authority, that was me. I did a lot of bad things, and I had a really bad behavior. My mother was alone. I didn't have my father around, so she took care of me, or let's say tried to take care of me at that time. Right now, it's good. I mean, it's really good. I respect my mother and everything, but at that time when I was 15, holy crap. I would say really awful and evil things, as in, you really, I don't think you would believe, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure that I'm not alone here, but, at one point, she was fed up. So she told me, and she did do it. I mean, if you continue like that, you're going to go to your grandmother. At that time, I didn't give a shit. I told her, and I'm going to display it to you, I said this to her. So, yeah. I was more verbal, though. And I didn't know at that time that my grandmother had her whole family with her on the side of my father, and they're very strict. And it's the kind of family that you have to respect. It's a really big thing for them. Like, family values and respect values are very important to them. Well, it should be for everyone anyways. And I had, man, this is really crazy. I had my grandmother on one level. It's like a 2-story house. My grandmother was on the first level. I had my aunt, I had my second aunt, my uncle, 2 uncles on the first floor. On the second floor, I had my other aunt and my other uncle, which were even worse than them. So yeah, when I got there first, I mean, of course, I was really acting rebellious. I was defiant on their authority, and I eventually, like the shit hit the fan a couple of times. And the thing is, when I did something bad out there in that house, everyone knew about it. So not only my grandmother told me and like gave me moral lessons, everyone in the house gave me moral lessons. At the end of the day, like, oh my god, that's what I was thinking at first, like, shut the fuck up. I can't do it. But after some time, like, it's not everyone that had the same kind of approach with me. Some people I was fed up, and other people, and I was accepting it, of course, and other people really reached out to me in a really different way, that the next time that I did something bad, because I was fucking stupid, I was an idiot. It happens. I think it happens to every teen out there, or almost all of them. We're not perfect, so we always do something bad at one point or another. And that in turn, like the next time that happened, that's when it started to kick in. And gradually over the next couple of months, I think 6 months or so, I became a better person. I became respectful. I respected authority a bit more. Well, a bit more. A lot more. And just to give you like a little story here about that. She had a pool in the back of her yard, and I was there with my 3 cousins. There was a cousin that was a bit stronger, a bit like taller and chubbier and all. And there was my other cousin, there were girls, by the way. There's this one that was, I don't know, she was a lot more skinnier than her. And she did wedgies to her. And at that moment, at that time, oh, well, yeah, I would say that at that time, Each time I did something bad, my uncle on the top floor, oh my god, he was like Hulk. Like he was a bull. He came out and like smoke would come out of his like nose and ears or something. I was really afraid of him. He never touched me physically, but the look on his face. You know that look? You always know someone that has this special look that I'm gonna kill you, you little shit. They don't say it. They don't do it. But they have that look that you can translate that. You always respect them. Like, oh fuck. And at that moment, I was there and I was in the pool. Like, as soon as I saw him, like, I swear, I didn't do it. I swear, please believe me, please believe me, please believe me. That's what happened. And yeah, he did believe me. Well, she was crying, so, you know, she was next to her, so it was really obvious, thank God. Oh man, that's one of the anecdotes that happened over there with, so yeah, respect. It's a really important thing because I learned it the hard way, unfortunately. I mean, we're never perfect here. The second story is, and this really backfired on me, and that's where I think that's one of the other aspects of my life that really, I would say, transformed my behavior. One of the things that happened in my life that really, you know, you acted like in some way, and after something happened, like a certain experience that you have, that you went through, you change, right? Like entirely. That's another one. I was with a bunch of guys in high school, and we did a lot of bad things. Like, we were idiots. It was fun, though, I have to admit. And at one point, one of my buddies told me, I think it was in 96 or in 97, like, he could stole like a Ski-Doo, a Polaris Ski-Doo, and it was really easy. Open up the Ski-Doo so you could see the engine, unplug the ignition, crank it up, you go away. So I told him, like, and he was always lying all the time, so I told him, like, dude, you're lying, shut up. I'm just tired of you lying. And then he says, no, it's really true. I'm telling the truth. It's really that easy. I didn't believe him. So he tells me, well, listen, there's a Ski-Doo near this place, and I can tell you right now, we can go there, and we're going to steal it. I didn't directly steal it, but I'm part of the situation. So I'm indirectly, I don't know how to say this again, but anyways. So I go there. He opens it up so we can see the engine. He unplugs the ignition, crank it up, then he goes away. So he tells me, like hop on. Okay, so I hop on with him, of course, because I was like a really idiot here. And I go away with him. That easy. So we steal the Ski-Doo, and we go, there's a place, like, there's a really big, I would say, there's a big place where you can, with some Ski-Doo trails, so we go there and we play, and I tell him, like, listen, if you really want to, like, use a Ski-Doo, just be careful and all, because that place, I knew that place, and it was a place where you got, there was a lot of snow, and under that snow, you didn't see it, but there was a lot of rocks. Rocks don't move. Ski-Doo does. Alright? So, eventually they didn't listen to me, they broke the Ski-Doo. Guess what happened then? All of my friends told that I stole the Ski-Doo. I did, but indirectly. Like, I was guilty by, I don't know how to say it, but I took all the blame, 100% of it. A couple of thousand of damage, which I paid. Well, I didn't pay. I did something else. Like, I wrote I think it's a letter of pardon or something to the person. I also did some community time and everything, but all the blame was to me. So, yeah, that's what happens about loyalty and disrespect. You do bad things, it's going to backfire on you. And third story, that's about my one of the old jobs that I had long ago. You see, that person, which looked, I would say, really fine when you talked to him, he didn't sound like he was disrespectful or anything. Like, I talked to him, he was really open, he was nice. It's when I needed help sometimes because, hey, I don't know everything. So sometimes I would go see him because he has a lot more experience in the field. That's when he became like defensive, hesitant. I didn't know at that time, but over time, like my boss told me, like, listen, he just invented some excuse and then he fired me. No, he didn't really. Well, he did fire me, but like the contract ended. It could have continued, but then I learned because it didn't cut my access right away, and I wanted to know more about the whole situation, which really didn't make sense to me. Because all the things that my boss told me was just didn't make sense. Really didn't make sense. So I did some digging, and I found out that the guy was talking behind my back, and I had written proof of that. Because the person didn't cut my access, and he didn't know how to do his job 100%. He didn't restrict access to anyone regarding, I would say, in emails. You know, when you're a system admin, there are some things that you have to block access to. Like, even if you're an admin, block access to other admins' email system, like to email inboxes. He didn't do that. I went in. It was legal, by the way. He gave me access. I wasn't fired at that minute. So it was completely legal, so I looked into everyone's email, and I discovered a lot of things. He talked behind my back, he said really a lot of awful things. And all I have to say is, what goes around comes around. So whatever you say to someone, whatever you do to someone, it's always going to come back on you. It might be small, might be big, it's always going to come back on you. There are always consequences to your actions. You know, like, you know, the old saying, every action has a reaction. Yeah, that's going to happen. It's the same thing with YouTube. I mean, of all things, why are people leaving so, like, disrespectful comments of all things, you know? I have to get another one. And I don't get it. It's like they're behind a big shield, like a big defense or something. And for them, it sounds like they feel protected enough that they can do everything they want. I've seen a lot of idiot comments on there, as in, you should die, you're not good, and blah, blah, blah. And like things like that, it's really numerous on YouTube. Just do a Google search, you're going to find like really mean things on YouTube. I don't get it. Each time I write a comment, it's like I'm talking to the person in front of him. Like, think about this, all right? When you write a comment on YouTube, like, your YouTube video sucks, please die. Would you ever tell that to the person in front of him? That way, the exact words. I'm sorry, but I don't think so. One reason, the person in front of you might have had a really bad day. Who knows? He might be angry by nature. He might want to beat up everyone. You might face like a serial killer. I don't know. I might exaggerate here. The person might have lost his job. His wife might have cheated on him. And then you say things like that in front of him? Holy shit, you're going to get kicked. Maybe sometimes, like, that doesn't... Maybe he doesn't need that to do that. One thing for sure is, he's going to answer. He's going to react. Verbally or physically. So it's your choice. Either you leave a constructive comment or shut up. It's really that simple. I don't get it. It's something that like, does not compute, you know? It's really easy to do. When you leave a comment, make sure it's constructive, even if it's negative. I mean, for one example here, it's nothing like against the guy or anything. I really like the guy. MDMax09. I just went to one of his recent videos. Like, he talks, and then there's the engine of Road Rash. Like, the engine sound is so freaking evil. It's like possessed or something. I don't know. But it blocks his voice. I did hear him, but I had a lot of trouble hearing him. because the volume of the engine was just blocking his voice. I did hear him, but it would be nice to make it a bit lower. So, instead of saying, you suck, which doesn't make sense, and no, he doesn't suck, I told him, like, is there a possibility to, I don't know, put your voice on a different track or something, or do something differently, put a microphone, or that way, like, I don't know, like a microphone or something that you can record independently, so you can upload it to your computer or something. Something that allows you to play with the volume. That way, you know when you're going to hear your video, it's going to be the right. Like, you want to emphasize on your voice if it's not what you want. Something constructive like that. You're not going to say, "Oh, you suck." Doesn't make any sense. It's not constructive, and no, he doesn't suck, by the way, second time. Things like that. Like, also, Dean's videos, for example. Yeah, the microphone might not be the best, but hey, I hear him, and I put more emphasis on what he says than the quality of his voice. Who cares? You hear him. Okay, move on. That's it. It's not really that complicated, you know? So, to end this, just leave something constructive if it's going to be negative. It's really not that hard. So, my name's Fluffy. If you did like the video, comment, and see you later. Bye-bye.